So remember what I told you yesterday? Well, I changed my mind. So guys, I'm so excited because I've been talking about this. I've been talking about me waiting until striking, and I'm sure at some point you guys were like, okay, no, he's just kidding. He's just gonna follow Craig, follow Moon until the end. But the night brought me so many good advices, you know? And so I figured that I want to play this game. I don't want to just wait forever. So basically, I've concocted a plan to eliminate Craig tonight. Shocker, right? And if it bites me in the butt, I'm happy because I tried to play my own game. So it all started with a discussion with me and James. So basically, you know, me and James, we've always had this pretty strong connection, but like I wasn't really with him because I knew that if I wanted to stay in my old alliance, he was gonna go soon. So basically my old five, they think that Daphne's going tonight, and they've been telling the people on the outs that Nova is gonna go. So then if they have an idol, they'll play it on Nova. And I was counting the numbers, and I realized that if I didn't take my shot at Craig right now, he would just win this game, you know? He's been the strategic mastermind for all this time, you know, making the decisions on the down low. And I was waiting for this moment. So I talked to James, you know, and I was like, James, I'm just gonna put all my cards on the table, you know? So I literally told him everything, like everything. I told him about the Alliance of Five. I told him about the fact that Craig was close to everybody and like was controlling the votes on the down low. And literally, James was like, dude, I literally wanted to talk to you about this since so long, but I was so afraid you were too close with Craig. And I was like, bro, I was thinking the same. Like, we're all thinking that Craig has all these super strong one-on-ones, and that makes us not able to vote him. And so I took a huge risk tonight telling him all of my game. And I was like, dude, I trust you. Like, we've been having this great connection, this great one-on-one, this great bond, and I am ready to flip. You know, I love you, Craig, but I choose my own destiny, like Britney Spears would say. So yeah, so James seemed on board with the plan, and I kind of figured that him, Nova, and Daphne were close, or like at least were voting together for this round. And so I was like, dude, the only thing that made me not want to flip before today was like I wasn't really close to anybody else except the people that I wanted to flip against. Me and Nova, we barely talked strategy, and me and Daphne, we had some cool discussions, but it was really about not the game, you know, it was about our lives. My hands were kind of tied, and so I couldn't really do anything except follow them. And to be honest, I'm glad I did follow them. And now at Final 8, I feel like that's when the end game really starts, and we need to start making these moves and start making a resume, you know? So yeah, so James was like, okay, I got you, I got this. Let me go talk to Nova, let me go talk to Daphne. I'm gonna convince them to vote with us tonight. And it worked, you know? So now we're at 4. Me, James, Daphne, and Nova. But, you know, a 4 is not gonna do anything against a 4 except just causing a tie, and then we would just need to revote, and I don't want to expose my game like that. If I'm taking a hit at the king, I have to not miss. And I'm not gonna miss tonight, because now James is telling me that he has an extra vote, and that's literally the cherry on the cake, or whatever it's your expression. It was literally music to my ears. So now we're not 4, we became 5. Hopefully tonight it's a 5 against 4 vote for Craig, and the rest is gonna go on Daphne. And if it works out, then I have a pretty strong argument for final tribal council. Though I will say, I am aware that after this vote I might be a fucking big threat, you know, because I just pulled this move all by myself. Literally, like, I came up with it, I went to James, then James went to these two, and then, like, you know, I know that Donnie, Rossi, and Moon are gonna feel super betrayed. But at this point, they're in the minority now, because it's 4 against 3 then. I'm so thrilled for tonight, and I'm just thinking about what's gonna be the fallout after this. I hope I'm still gonna be in a good position, but to be honest, I want to play. Like, I want to play, I want to have fun, and I'm really having fun right now. And I know it's showing, but like, you know, like, I've been stressed all day today. Literally, I've been walking to my house just in my head thinking for all these hours because I was so scared maybe James would leak to Craig, maybe Nova and Daphne wouldn't be on board and just rat me out. So yeah, this is the plan. This is the new plan, and I know, like, I literally said the opposite of what I said yesterday. I was like, oh, I think we still need to wait, but I've literally didn't sleep and just thought about this for all night long. And if we take Daphne, then it's gonna be 5 against 2, then we don't have the numbers anymore, really. It's too risky, and that way we're sure that it's gonna work. And plus, Craig has an idol, and literally his idol is because he and Moon, they literally told me to give them my 2 pieces. And at that time I was like, yeah, sure, but like, did I really have a choice? No, I didn't. Because if I didn't give them my pieces, they would have been suspicious of me. I couldn't afford that. Also, the other thing that happened this morning, like, I'm not sure if I talked about this in another confessional, but basically, some days ago, Donnie was ranting about Nova because, you know, he was acting sad when Gumby was voted out, even though, like, Nova was the one voting him. Basically, me and Donnie had this chat, and he just started to tell me, like, Nova called him out because of the thing he said about him. You know, at first I was like, oop, it's literally me. I told Nova all of this because I wanted to build trust, and, you know, I was just a bit wishy-washy, you know. So I had my chat with Donnie this morning, and Donnie was like, yeah, so I talked with Nova and Nova called me out. And you know what's funny? Is that Nova told me it was you. What? Literally, I was like, oh shit. Like, Donnie figured out that I've been throwing his name all around like a fucking basketball, you know? And so I was like, okay, Vincenzo, what do you do? Your back is against the wall. So I owned up to it. I was like, yeah, I'm so sorry about that. 2 tribals ago, I didn't trust you, you know? Everybody was calling you a snake, so I really didn't trust you, and like, I went to Nova. I know I shouldn't have, but like, I'm so sorry, and like, I still want to move forward with you. Like, I literally was doing the most because I needed him to still think that I was with him, and I was this morning before I changed my mind. And you know, you may ask, well, Vincenzo, you know that Nova ratted you out to Donnie. Does that make you think he's untrustworthy? Yes, absolutely. But I also know that Nova is on the outs right now, and he'll do anything to stay in the game, even if it's to work with me. You know, tonight I think is the biggest blindside of this season yet, and I'm hoping that Rossi, Donnie, and Moonlight will understand, although I'm pretty sure they will be so pissed at me. I'm definitely gonna emphasis on the fact that Craig was controlling all the votes, and I didn't feel safe with him around. So yeah, shots fired, and I'm hoping it's gonna touch my victim. So yeah.
Today has been interesting. Very interesting. So, before today, the plan was me, Daphne, and Nova. We all work together using my advantages and Daphne's idle piece. Take out Craig, blindside him. That was the plan. I had 2 extra votes, so I would have used those 2 extra votes. And I would have probably at least tied it. But I think a really amazing thing happened today, which I'm not surprised. I probably should have been the one to start this, or like entertain this, but Vince came to me basically exposing the alliance they had, the 5-person alliance that Donnie, Rochi, Craig, Moon, and Vince had. Exposed it. Told me that they were going to Daphne tonight. And he told me he wanted to blindside Craig with me. Which was nice, because I already planned on blindsiding Craig, and then now he's joining in with us. I don't have to use many of my advantages. So it's awesome. It's a relief to know that I'm actually getting him up for good. Craig's gone. It's a great feeling. But I do have to use my extra vote here. At first, I was gonna make Daphne use her idol piece so I can keep my advantages. But then there was this whole thing about possibly Craig getting paranoid and then playing his idol, which he has a whole idol. Possibly him playing a whole idol because there was that final 10 trial council where he never even got any votes, but he was super paranoid that he was going home, so he played an idol and wasted one. So because of that, I think it makes sense to make Craig feel as comfortable as possible. And having Daphne play an idol piece just wouldn't make sense. So yeah, right now I feel very good about my position on the tribe. I don't think I'm going home. If I am going home, it'd be the biggest blindside ever. But I feel confident in the relationships I've built. I feel confident with the people I'm working with. I feel like there's no way people would go through all this just to blindside me. I'm not the target here. Craig will go home. It will be my move. And I'm very ecstatic. Because I don't need him in this game anymore. I really don't. Right now, I gotta dip. I go to the party real quick, but I feel good. This plan is gonna work. I've spent this entire day really just like scheming and communicating, being the communicator between Vince and Nova and then Daphne. If I had to communicate what he said to them, making sure they communicate through me to him. And it's annoying because I'm the communicator. Why is it always me? It's because I have good social connections. I know, but man, glad I'm finally able to get this move off. And I think this move is super beneficial for me long term because after this I can get Donnie out. And once Donnie goes, there's, I would say, the rest of the people left in this game are big threats. Nova, Daphne, both big threats. People let me go. Moonlight and Vince, both big threats. And then I would say Rochi's not a threat at all. Nova's a goat. I mean, no. Rochi's the goat. Everyone's gonna take the end, so. And I want Rochi at the end because if I have Rochi next to me in the end, I'm guaranteed to take it. Just $50. All my $50, you know? So honestly, after this move gets pulled off, I'm more thinking about endgame. It's final 7, and at that point you have to think about endgame. Who can I beat? Obviously, I want Rochi there, but besides that, I don't know. I think everyone else is very good at this game. Played a decent game. At the moment, I think Daphne, just because I think I'm very close with Daphne at the moment, and I don't think I can beat Nova. So I want to keep Daphne in it for the long run. At least currently, that's what I'm thinking. But besides that, I feel very good about this game so far. I feel like I'm in a good position. Like I normally am. I wasn't the past 2 trial councils, but now I'm in a good position. Doesn't matter. Peace. Sorry for the short confessional, but that's how it's going. Getting into all the works, just I don't have enough time for that right now, so. But I think this is a huge resume builder for me because I've done a lot of work for this blindside to go as it's planned, so. See you.
So it is final 8, so it's me, Craig, Vince, Rosie, Donnie, Nova, Daphne and James that is left with the alliance chat that I have with me, Craig, Vince, Rosie and Donnie. We do have majority, which is really exciting. So the plan is to actually get, sadly to get Daphne out, even though I really do like Daphne. She has the stronger jury threat. She will win it if she makes it to the end. She's a newbie, like everybody likes her, so she is definitely a threat. So the plan is to go 5-3 against her, which is kind of easy. So I'm really sad about it. I am sad about it. I sound like I'm hyped up, but like just the competition's just like really like insane and everything. But the plan is to actually get her out because we do really need to like separate Nova and Daphne, because if they make it to the end, they will take each other. Like they will 100% take each other. So yeah, the plan is to vote out Daphne. And it's really funny because we came up with the joke because Daphne was calling all of us like Donnie's goats and stuff, or like I guess following him like with sheep or whatever. I thought it was really funny. I can't remember who came up with it, but somebody did say that we should like put like goat number 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Donnie can be like the leader thing. So I ended up extra pushing that idea because I thought it was really really funny. So we're gonna do like 5 votes and 4, and hopefully they get read out in order as well. So that will be really funny too. But it's gonna be really funny seeing like all the votes in order of the numbers. And sadly, Daphne will.
Hello. So today we're going to talk about the downfall of Daphne. Now, Daphne and I have obviously had a very up and down relationship. We started off as best friends. We were going to go to the final 3 together and hold hands. Me, her, and Moon. It was going to be amazing. Around the motel challenge, she heard I was shady and that I was in alliances. And, you know, all this drama happened. And then merge, you know, we had a nice little therapy chat, and I really thought it was going to be different this time. We worked together for a couple votes, but she's definitely fallen back into old habits, and I just can't do it anymore. Even if she does plan on taking me far, which she might. I know she says she's scared of me or whatever, but other than Moon and Nova, she doesn't really have any other options. So I'm sure I'm at least in her top 4 or 5 plan, but I have so many close connections that that's just not good enough for me. And also, she is spiraling out of control, and I'm just gonna let her. I'm not stopping it this time. So yeah, Daphne freaked out about Blue getting voted out, and she immediately went and accused Vince, and then she thought it was me for a bit, and she told Donnie that Donnie is the goat herder and we're all just his little goats, you know, because it's Donnie's world and we're all just living in it. Donnie's the mastermind of the season, everybody, clearly. So, yeah, she did all that. And yeah, she told Donnie that Vince is a snake, and she was all upset with me and Moon, and now she's kind of backtracking and trying to say she never said any of that. And she also told Donnie that she wanted to go to the end with Nova, even though Nova's the only person that can beat her, because it's more honorable to go with Nova and lose than to go with one of us snakes or goats or whatever. And I don't know, Daphne is just super hypocritical. I can't stand players in this game who act like they're all about loyalty and integrity when they're really not. Like, she even made a speech in Tribe Chat about how she's all about loyalty and people are questioning her character. As that's happening, Donnie's messaging me and he's like, I should just expose her right now. And I don't think he will, but I kind of would have been here for it. So tonight it should be a split vote between Daphne and Nova. I think James will vote Nova. I think Daphne might if she thinks it will save her. And maybe one person from the 5 with Donnie and Rosie, and the rest will be on Daphne. So I think that should be a done deal unless Daphne has some sort of idol or something and we have another crazy tribal, which could very well happen. So I think this round is kind of the calm before the storm. I think next round shit's about to get crazy once again. There's been a little war brewing between Moon and Donnie, where Moon and Vince, they wanted to get rid of Donnie at, I think, Final 9, but I kind of talked them out of it and said, no, let's keep the sides, let's get rid of Blue or Nova, take out someone in the middle, and keep all our numbers. And Donnie's come to realize that Moon is playing a really good game and nobody sees it. He was able to pick up that Moon and Daphne were together and that Moon and Vince were together, but he's never able to piece up that I was a part of both of these groups. So he's been saying, yeah, like, you know, you ever notice that going with the flow is just doing what Moon wants, and he knows Moon doesn't want to take him all the way to the 5, like he wants to make the move, maybe even next vote, and go me, him, James, and Rossi on Moon. And I think the plan is, I mean, after Nova, we were gonna take out Donnie. So I'm kind of just weighing out my options at this point. On one hand, I think Moon is very loyal, and Moon would take me all the way to the end, but I don't know if I beat Moon. In Donnie, I think I could beat Donnie, but he has such a good underdog story that if people can get past how blunt and how mean he is sometimes, he might just win at the end. And also, protecting Donnie makes me look really bad. So I have to be very careful how I go about this. So I'm in 7 million alliances. I got the 5. And then in that 5, I'm positioned in the middle with Rosie and Donnie on one side and Moon and Vince on the other side. And now I had this whole little therapy chat to, I guess, repay the favor to Nova and try to push Nova and Donnie together a little bit. So now Nova trusts me again. And Donnie also wants to make a 3-person alliance with James. So I don't know which way I'm gonna go yet, but if there's a way I can get Rosie and Nova out and go to the top 5 with Vince, Moon, James, and Donnie without showing my hand, that would be really nice, because in that situation, everybody wants to take me to the end. And I would also still have an idol to shake things up a little bit if I need to.
Oh my god. Ugh, what a tribal council. Holy. That was intense. Yo, that was insane. Vince flipping on us and voting out Craig, that was... Oh my god. I am still shocked by it. It was so insane to me. Oh my god, the way the votes were read, I really thought, you know, we get GOAT 3 to be shown and Vincenzo would also be voting for Daphne. But then there was no GOAT 3 and oh my god, it was an extra vote and oh, I'm so mind blown by it. Okay. But then afterwards, because I didn't want to be salty or sore loser, I respect the game move when I see one, but I just didn't understand why Craig. So I talked to Nova and I talked to Vincenzo and some other people, and apparently Craig was in everybody's ear. He was telling everybody that he wanted to go with him to the end. He was telling everybody who to vote for every vote. This guy had so much power, it's absolutely insane, and he told everybody that he was with them, and that's why I was flabbergasted. I really thought he was with me, but in the end he was just lying to my face, probably for the entire game. Apparently he also had an idol, which I knew, because I made that happen. I made, at Final 10, I made sure that Vincenzo would give him the idol pieces to have an idol. And then Moonlight also told me that she gave an idol to him. So we knew that Craig had an extra idol. I don't know what I'm upset more about, the fact that I wasn't involved with this vote, because if I had all the facts I would probably gone with the vote, or the fact that I just got played by Craig so hard. It's so insane to me. And then Daphne freaked out. Daphne didn't go home, and Daphne was like, fuck you, Craig, and fuck you, Moon, and why weren't you honest with me, and you can't be trusted, and you're all snakes, and she freaked out. She freaked out, and Nova and I tried to calm her down, and, you know, even Moon asked for a break, and Daphne just went like, fuck you and your break. It was so intense. I mean, it was great for me, I think, because clear a divide is great if I ever want to shoot for Moon, and then I can take Daphne with me. The only thing that would make it better is if we, right now, would get touchy subjects as an immunity challenge. Oh, hey, look, touchy subjects is the immunity challenge. That's amazing. Oh my god, I love touchy subjects. Sadly didn't win. Good job for James. I think James knows the crowd better, apparently. I did think it was funny that James think that the majority thought he would win, which nobody did. But there was some danger in this challenge, because apparently, and I'm just gonna quickly open the challenge and open the sheet. Apparently, just moving everything because the sheet's here. Apparently, who is the strongest player is Donnie, and who is the biggest threat is also Donnie, which makes me think that I might be going home next, and I think I need to play very actively and very hard now to make sure that I don't go. So, oh wait, one more thing about the challenge. One of the questions was who is the least self-aware, and of course we all said Daphne. But because Daphne's not self-aware, she thought the majority would be on Rosie, which I just think is the perfect irony on this challenge cake. But on the other hand, a lot of negative things were said about Daphne. She's the biggest villain, and nobody wants to take her home to the family. She doesn't deserve to be here. 0 votes finalist. It's obviously, it's honestly, it's kind of sad and pretty mean. And I really hope Daphne finds some good headspace. But it is something that I will try to work, because if Daphne feels on the bottom and she feels like a villain, then maybe I can reach out to her as a villain and we can play together. So, about the vote. I put a lot of stuff already in my confessionals. So I'm just gonna talk over it a bit, and then, but not too extensive. I feel like I already did that. But if you need more, then just ask me, and then I'll make a new video going over it. So at some point I thought that the game is now separated in 3 groups, and one group is the heroes, which is Moonlight and Nova. The other group is the villains, which is me, Rosie, Daphne, and Vincenzo. And the third group is James. I don't know, James is playing a really subpar game where he just goes with votes because he doesn't make any enemies, but making enemies means that you're doing moves and you're playing hard. And James's tactic, I think, might work in a final 2 if you're up against a really big villain, and you can be like, yeah, but I'm at least nice, you know. But it's final 3. He needs to make a move and he needs to have a resume, or he will never win. Anyway, so I thought that then the heroes would be playing together, so I thought maybe you can make a villain alliance. So I reached out to Vincenzo and Rosie and said, hey, we gotta get Nova out with Moonlight, because Nova just beats it at the end. But then Moonlight says, no, I want to get Daphne out. And I don't know if it's because Moonlight really wants Daphne out, or Moonlight is protecting Nova, but I thought that if I can come to the conclusion that there's a villain group, maybe Moonlight and Nova might come to the conclusion that there's a hero group, which means that Moonlight and Nova might work together, which would be a problem for the villains, because if any of those heroes hit the jury, they win. They are so likable, they're so honest, they're just nice people. I can't fault people for liking Nova and Moonlight. Hell, even I've been talking to Moonlight for the last 2 days, just about anything, just the hobbies, movies, even about stars and Marvel stuff, and I can't fault people for liking the guy. Hell, I even want to work with him at this point. It's so strange how likable these 2 people are, but they have to go. So at some point I thought maybe Moonlight and Nova are working together. So I tried to reach out to my fellow villains. So I went to Daphne and he was like, hey, you want to talk? She didn't really reply, but then I asked again, like 16 hours later, like, hey, are we really not talking? And then she did reply and we talked about it. She thought I was petty with my goat parchment. I told her it was Craig. She was like, yeah, Craig seemed to be in everybody's ears. And I was like, yeah, I've been telling you I'm not the villain you think I am. I really think we should focus on Craig, or finding the people that are targets. And she agreed. She also doesn't think I'm the leader anymore because she knew it was Craig. And then she told me that she believed Craig, and she only gave him benefit of the doubt because apparently Moonlight and Craig were in an alliance with her, and Moonlight kept pushing Daphne to be working with Craig. That's why Daphne was so betrayed by Moonlight voting Daphne, because she thought they were type 3. Which made me say, I think Moonlight is the leader, so maybe we should vote Moonlight out. Nova's like, if Daphne's like, that sounds like a good idea. So I go to Vince and I go like, hey, maybe we should vote Moonlight out. And he panics. He's like, no, we shouldn't do that. We need her votes. We need her to be with us. We gotta play this cool. I really think if we get Moonlight out right now, we can swap. We can flip Daphne and James' next vote to go Nova. He's like, you know what? I trust you, but I want to hear Rosie's side. So I go to Rosie and I go like, hey Rose, maybe we should get Moonlight out. She's like, yeah, but why? I'm like, so I try to explain to her what I think with the whole Hero Alliance, and then before I know it, she's like, oh, that's too late. I went to Nova, and I went to Nova and Vincenzo, and they agreed. So I'm like, okay, cool, that's great. So I go to Vincenzo, he agreed, and I go to Nova. I'm like, hey Nova, listen, what are your thoughts? He's like, I've been hearing Moon. So I go like, okay, we can do Moon, and he agrees. And then I ask him to ask Daphne because my bond with Daphne is horrible. I told him, and he agrees. So he went to Daphne, and they went to James, and everybody told me it's Moonlight. So I'm thinking that I think that we might get Moonlight out here just with a 6-1 vote. But then I got jittery. It's never gonna be this easy. It's not. I don't believe it's gonna be Moonlight here. It can be. Vincenzo has proven to be a very conniving player, and he said he would voice call me at 12 my time. He didn't, and he went offline, and now he's not responding. And both Nova and James don't reply anymore. And even Daphne isn't really engaging. So I think that I'm getting played. People change when they want to vote you out. They think they still engage in the conversation with you, and they think that they're playing you, but it's really clear that people want to vote you out, to me. So I'm thinking it might be just me who goes. Which, to be fair, they did say I'm the strongest player in the biggest spread, and I honestly think that if I hit the finale, I just win. Even against Nova or Moonlight. So it wouldn't be the wrong move to get me out. I don't know how to stop it. And I don't know what to do with these jittery feelings for the next couple of hours, because I have nothing. I can't play any idols. I have no safety without power. No blockers. I'm just here. I'm literally asking my biggest rivals in this game to vote with me. But I stand by what I said in my confessionals and to people in the DMs. I'd rather go out swinging at Final 7 than lose Nova Moonlight in the final tribal console. Although I do think I can win at this point. Just gotta get there, man. Just gotta get there, but my spider sense are tingling. Something feels off. So this might be my last confessional. I think it might be. Vincenzo is a wild card, man. He might win this. Good for him.
Alright, it's been a couple days since the vote where I was getting votes and Craig and Moon basically betrayed their alliance to me because they thought I had leaked the blue vote, which I did not do. Basically, for whatever reason, Craig and Moon betrayed me. I found out about it through James. James was showing his suspicions against them, thinking that they were really tight with Vinny and Donnie and Rosie, but I really was trying to shift the focus from them because I really wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt that they wouldn't do that to me, but that wasn't the case because Vinny came to us basically saying that the alliance over there was real between him, Moon, Craig, Donnie, and Rosie, and that Craig was pulling a lot of the strings, and that he was tired of being used. It was interesting because I had a conversation with Vinny, like in DM, the day before, where he actually told me what the word goat meant for the first time. He was like basically saying, yeah, in the edit for Sage's videos, I hope I don't look like a goat. And I was like, what is a goat? Like, the only goat I know is greatest of all time, but it didn't seem like he was saying it in a positive way. So he explained it to me, and basically it's just like a sheep, a person that is doing what they're told, a person that's just seen as a number, maybe a person that if they're taken to the end, the jury wouldn't vote for because they didn't feel like they were actively making moves in the game for themselves. That's my understanding. So I told him, based on my own life experiences and things that I've, had to figure out also, is that like, you are in control of your own life. So I told it to him. I'm like, you're in control of your own life. You're in control of your own game. Like, don't let people tell you what to do. You got this, I had no idea really what he was going through. I had suspicions, obviously, that we weren't on the same side, but like, we were having a real human-to-human conversation. And I was like, I don't know, like, it just felt really sad or like disheartening that he felt like he was just being used and being told what to do and just being dragged along on stuff. So I was like, you're in control of your life. You're in control of your game. Like, you can just like grab the reins again on your own life. And apparently that like really resonated, because after he came to us, like we kind of talked about it again, and he's like, yeah, I really connected with what you said. And I was like, I felt so lucky that like we had that time to talk and like really connect as people, and it really made an impact, and it literally saved me in this game, in that vote. So I was really grateful for Vinny, and I was really grateful that we had that moment together. So anyway, I'm not giving you all the context in the same order. I'm assuming you know everything. But the vote went down. James had an extra vote. I was a little confused on how the extra vote got used. So Sage is doing the countdown. I had been drinking, so I was a bit tipsy. And I'm like, oh my God, James isn't jumping in to say that he has an extra vote. Like, is he supposed to do that? So I was like, wait. And then Sage is like, yeah. And Vinny's like, what are you doing? Stop. And I was like, because Vinny knows I have, my alliance with Vinny, James, and Nova know that I have an idol piece, like a blocker. And Vinny's like, don't use your blocker because it will spook Craig. And because we had talked about that previously, but I was just confused. So I just said I had nothing. And the other team was like, Daphne, nice, whatever. They think I'm stupid. Whatever, I don't care. So the way the votes came out was also amusing. It came out 1 vote against me, 2 votes against me, 3 votes against me. There's only 8 players. There's only 8 votes that are supposed to come out normally. And then production goes, that's 3 votes against Daphne, 6 votes left. And then someone goes, uh-oh. Like they do the side eye thing where they're like, 6 votes? 6 votes? There's only 8 people. But it was too late. It was too late. So 4th vote was for me. 5th vote was for Craig. Craig again. Craig. Craig. Craig for the 5th vote. Goodbye, Craig. Goodbye. So, understandably, he was pissed because they thought they were all cute and they were sending little goat jokes along with their parchments against me, calling themselves goat number 1, goat number 2, goat number 3, goat number 4, whatever, with their little goat pictures, thinking they're cute because they were mad that I had mentioned to Donnie that I thought Donnie was pulling the strings and that he was a goat herder. And apparently that hurt their feelings, and I'm sorry it hurt your feelings, but also not sorry because you think you're cute and we broke your alliance. So, to you. And in my enraged, and I mean like enraged state, I just went, fuck you, Craig, fuck you, Moon. Go enjoy your break. Because Moon, right before the vote, was like, guys, I really need a break from this vote, da-da-da-da-da. As if, like, she's so sweet and innocent and stuff. And I'm like, I already know that you're voting against me. I already know you didn't even come to talk to me. Like, if you had suspicions and we were really in an alliance and we were really friends, you would think she would come and try to talk to me. You know what I mean? To clear the air, to figure out, like, feel me out. Like, she didn't even try to feel me out. You know what I mean? And I feel like I've proven my loyalty to her and to Craig more reluctantly because we had that fight and, like, I was never going to trust him the same ever again. Understandably so, because they betrayed me. So, like, as a friend, I was really pissed at her. But as a player, like, I've been talking to James and Nova and whatever, and it's like, sure, she's just playing the game, but, like, I don't know. I took the whole thing really personally. And for whatever reason, like, Donnie is, like, just trying to make me look bad. Like, he's trying to say that I'm, like, a hypocrite, da-da-da-da, because I had said, you know, I could also use a break when Moon had said it, like, the day before again. Like, she had said it a couple times that she wanted a break. And I had said, yeah, I could use a break. Like, my anxiety has been really high, and it just doesn't feel good that somebody is going behind my back, like trying to tarnish my reputation, aka Donnie lying about the fact that I worked with him. I never worked with Donnie. I never talked to him about the blue vote. I never leaked anything, and I never voted with Donnie ever. So that was just like blatant lies. And then he's gonna call me a hypocrite because I was talking to people saying I was suspicious of Vinny, only because I knew I trusted James 1,000%, because he also came forward to me telling me his advantages. I trusted Nova 100% because we had talked about the Donnie vote. He wasn't in the alliance where any of the blue name things were mentioned. I wanted to trust Moon, and I wanted to trust Craig. So out of the 5 alliance, that's 4 people that I felt couldn't have leaked. That left Vinny. I didn't know Vinny as well as the other people. So I was saying, I think it could have been Vinny. James was saying, no, I think it's Craig and Moon. And I wanted to like be loyal and give them the benefit of the doubt and try to feel them out before just jumping on a bandwagon to get out Craig and Moon. So I was like, I think it could be Vinny. I was trying to shift focus away from the people that I already had an established alliance with. So then when Vinny came to me and was like, oh, I'm hearing things that like you were the one that leaked. And I was like, I didn't leak shit. Like, I thought you could have been the mole. You know what I mean? And he's like, I'm not the mole. So like, I'm not like a little bitch where I can't say it to somebody's face. You know what I mean? Like, what difference is it gonna make? Like, I'm suspicious of him. I told people I was suspicious to him. He comes to me suspicious of me, and I'm like, well, I'm suspicious of you. And then we talked it out and we had a long conversation. Like, it's not like I'm being sneaky or conniving or whatever and like not even confronting people to their faces. You know what I mean? Like, I had suspicions about him and we talked it out. Like, I think that's the difference. I don't know. I'm not a perfect person. I'm not a perfect player, but like, I'm trying my best. So I don't think that's hypocritical at all because I literally told it to Vinny's face. So Donnie can take a step back on that one. He doesn't know what's going on. I don't know. Just like the whole thing. I don't know what their problem is with me. I think they're just trying to make me look bad. Donnie mentioned something where like everybody, you know, liked me. They had no problems with me except Craig had some kind of personal problem with me. This kid, like, he's 19 years old. I have no idea what personal problems Craig could have with me. We had the fight, and that was all explained, where I thought he betrayed Moon, so I didn't trust him, and then he was mad about it. Then we were like, fine, it was a misunderstanding, we'll move on. What else could Craig have a personal problem with me about? What did I do to this poor boy? I don't feel like I did anything. Honestly, I'd be really interested to hear what he has to say about it, but like, he's out of the game now, thankfully, because for some reason he like had it out for me, allegedly. But like, I'm just trying to figure out what I did to this kid to make him like hate me. Because I stayed true to the alliance with him and Moon because I like Moon and Moon wanted Craig. So I was doing things to try to protect Craig when I didn't have it confirmed that he betrayed me. Once he betrayed me, I was like, you know what, dude, this is too much. This is too much. I'm like, James wants you gone. Apparently you're pulling strings, you know, manipulating votes, because like I was really leaning on him for the counting and stuff, and the counting just never added up. And like, I was just not trying to figure it out, and I was just trusting him, and then shit was hitting the fan, and that's how Blue got voted out. So I'm glad he's gone. I'm sorry he had a personal thing against me. I really have no idea why he would have like such a personal problem against me. Like, I have better things to do than have a personal problem with him. But yeah, Donnie was saying that everybody else pretty much respected me or liked me or whatever, blah, 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 except for Craig, and that they were voting against me because they saw me as like a social threat because my social game's pretty good, I guess, which honestly I find pretty shocking. I find that pretty shocking and amusing because I feel like IRL, I can be quite shy and like not super confident when it comes to interacting with people or new people in particular. I'll take that as a compliment, I guess. I'm feeling like my side of the alliance right now is in a good spot. Hopefully in this next challenge, we can get immunity.
Okay, literally so much has happened all at once because, like, I was expecting this vote to go the way that it did, I guess, in the alliance chat or whatever, because like at this point, like I'm not gonna I'll get into like all the mental health aspects part of it in a bit, but like I'm not gonna like stress myself out at this point of, like over a game. And like honestly, like the whole like structured format of like just having that alliance stay together until like whatever final 5-4 whatever would be the goal, I guess. I don't know. Even though if that wasn't, I mean, I guess now I realize that wasn't the full intention for some people. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I have mixed feelings about the situation. Like I get it. Like, you know, it kind of, I mean, I did have thoughts in the back of my head about, like, you know, what am I gonna do? Comes the time we all have to turn on each other or whatever. So, I've had those thoughts, but like honestly, like I wasn't actively thinking about it, to be honest. You know, I am just now like, for the most part, recovered from like the slump that I was going through. And I wasn't really like trying to play like a snake game, if that makes sense. I don't know, like I'm just like, in summary, like I would just say like I'm just trying to have fun, I guess. And like this tribal, just I didn't like it because it just got really nasty, like from both sides, if I'm being quite honest. And like I was I was also kind of preoccupied because I was playing a game with my family. You know, I was trying to like not have to like worry about. Sorry, I got a notification. I was just trying not to like, I don't know, not to like stress about like a game, I guess. Anyways, but like whatever. I was playing Mario Party and like literally the game's about to start as tribal's happening, and like I just see like the votes go in a certain direction, and I'm like, okay, cool. Craig is out. I'm a little like saddened by it because I do love Craig. And like I don't know, I feel like he was very supportive and nice to me, so that just sucks that he's gone now. I don't know, and like the way like the fight just kind of like broke out in the chat, like, you know, I've had like thoughts about jumping in and be like, you know what, stop accusing each other of being fucking snakes. In reality, we're all playing for ourselves. We're all making those moves, like whether you're showing them or not, like you're being calculative about this. Like ain't no way like you're doing it for the benefit of somebody else. You're doing it for the benefit of yourself, you know? I wanted to say something like that, but like I didn't want to add to like the negativity to it all, because like I honestly don't know what anyone else is going through, and I don't want to add on top of that like all that weight mentally to them. I don't know. And also like I was kind of in a mood to be snappy, but like I just didn't do it. Plus I was playing fucking Mario Party, so I couldn't just like stop playing and just join a fucking argument. So, and like what also I find appalling is like they called Craig like the mastermind or whatever, and like I guess this probably might be me like having a bad read on the game, which probably at this point I most likely am. And I'm just like, there's no way. I don't know. I mean, maybe he was also playing both sides along with Vince. Like he said he did, like in the tribal chat or whatever, but like, he didn't give that vibe, but whatever. I digress. As far as like what I'm gonna do from now on, I mean, I guess I'll try to win immunity, but but again, I'm not very good at it. And I haven't really kept good connections with the rest of the people on the tribe. So I'm pretty fucked here. And at this point, I don't care. Like, I wish, like, this whole, oh my god. Like, I don't know. Like, I wish things would have gone differently. Hold on.
Okay, what the fuck was that? Okay, so the votes are being read and it's all like fine and stuff until one of the we're assuming that they're all going to be read in order 1, 2, 3, 4, but then number 3 is skipped and like Vince is number 3, and like at first I thought maybe this is just the hosts messing with us, but it wasn't. I then also had the realization that there's actually an extra vote, which is not something that I've noticed every time one has happened, but it turns out that there's 9 votes, and yeah, like, Craig is gone because it turned out Vince went behind our backs, saw Craig as this super threat, I guess like this mastermind person, and decided to go to the others. They used an extra vote and to take out Craig. And this is like really bad because Craig was honestly my number 1. He was like everything to me. Like there is no way I ever would have like backstabbed Craig. I'm actually really shocked but also kind of half proud at Vince because like the fact that he kind of like made a move like that. The only thing now is that I believe Craig really was loyal to him, and even though I know Vince was seeing this as he would lose to me in final tribal council, I think this was premature. Like if he wanted to get out Craig, I feel like it could have been done later because this puts us at a disadvantage, and now Daphne and Nova are still together. Like Daphne had 4 votes and it could have worked out. Like even with the extra vote it would have been a tie, but I do feel bad because now Craig is eliminated at 8th place with an idol, and I was thinking of telling him to use the idol, but then I kind of thought nah, and then he was telling me beforehand that he would use the idol on me if we were worried, but we just weren't. Like I did not expect Vince of all people to betray us. Like even Donnie and Rosie stayed faithful, and I want to stay faithful to them too, but now I don't know where I stand because like I'm stuck with the 4 of them, and now the other 3 are probably against me, and I just don't even know what's happening anymore. I would like to stay with the 4 as me, Donnie, Rosie, and Vinny, but Vinny flipping like that was just so insane. Like I know his mindset must have been just like wanting to flip just temporarily, then go back to us, like in the concept that he wanted Craig out, but like that was so insane. Like I can't believe it. Like I really, like I'm just in shock. Like little Vince, like I really like didn't think he could. I know he's competitive, but I didn't think he was gonna flip like that because I trust Vinny, but he's telling me he didn't really trust Craig, so I don't really understand what's like happening. But anyway, I guess we just gotta move forward. But I'm in the final 7, I guess.